Hi guys, I'm Mark and I'm an oyster boy, and I'm not making beer today, but I am trying to get ready to make some beer in a couple of days' time, so I thought I'd take the time to have a quick chat to you about water. Now, water is probably the most important thing in your beer. It makes up the majority of your ingredients, you use a lot of it, and it's going to make a real big contribution to whether or not your beer turns out well or turns out true to the style that you want it to be. A lot of people brew beer with just tap water, and they may use that water straight from the tap, or they may add half a crushed up Camden tablet to it to try and drive off some of the chlorine, or alternatively you can draw your water off the day before, leave it uncovered for 24 hours and let that dissipate into the air. But what you might find is that your tap water is really good for making some kinds of beers and not that good for making other types. We recently did a beer which was a hazy summer pale. It was a Malt Miller's True to Style hazy summer pale. I made that beer by using reverse osmosis filtered water, and then I built up a water profile which would lend itself really well to that style. Penny then made the same beer a month or two later, and while mine was quite soft on the mouthfeel and had a really good hop flavour, Penny's, although he made the exact same beer in exactly the same way, had a much thinner mouthfeel and tasted, I'm not going to say overly bitter, but it tasted definitely more bitter than the beer that I'd made. And the only difference between those two brews was the water that we'd used. So I think that the two biggest improvements you can make on your home brewing as an all-grain brewer, and probably as a kit brewer as well. Well, the first one definitely works for both. The best improvement you can make, and probably a lot cheaper, is temperature-controlled fermentation. So a fridge with an Inkbird and some kind of heater in there. It's going to be a massive game changer for your beer. It allows you to make lagers at lager temperatures. It allows you to push Kveik to 35 plus degrees and maintain a stable temperature throughout your brews, which is going to be massively beneficial. But then when you wanted to go a little bit further, the next best thing you can look at, I think, is water. Now, there's lots of different ways you can do it. I think you can buy bottled water from a supermarket. If you want to just have a change from your normal tap water, see what difference that makes, that's great. You could use a Brita filter to filter your water to take some of the stuff out of it. That's also good. If you're lucky enough to live near to a what they called a spotless water depot, which is where you can turn up and buy RO water basically from a petrol pump. It works out quite cheap, but they are not very conveniently located for a lot of people. Our nearest one would be a half-hour drive away for me to go and get my brewing water, so it's not really ideal to do an hour's round trip off the back of that. The last two options you're left with really are obtain a water report. You should be able to get some kind of water report from your water board. If you go online and have a look, I think I'm with Severn Trent, I'm able to go online and get some information about my water from Severn Trent. The issue I take with that is that your water board can change how they treat your water at any point without having to give you as a consumer notice of what they've done to it. And similarly, you could obtain a water report from somewhere like Murphy & Sons, but that is going to be a screenshot of your water at that time. And unless you were going to repeat that process of getting those water reports done, you could be working on old information and building up your water profile from water that you don't have anymore. So I think that the best way that you can have control of your brewing water and always be in control of your brewing water is to filter your water on demand and not have to leave your house to do it by using a reverse osmosis filter. So me and Penny have had one for a number of years that we share. We share the brewery, we share a lot of the equipment. Whoever's brewing, it goes from one house to the other house. And the RO filter is a big old thing. It goes in a bag. It's got pipes spewing out everywhere. And in an effort to reduce the amount of stuff that we have to carry around when we swap over on our brew days, I've now acquired a second filter. So this one here came from my friend John, who's a member at the Cheshire Brew Crew, our local homebrew club. Thank you very much for that, John. And this is a Viair 4-stage slimline reverse osmosis filter. So it's a little bit narrower than some of the others. So hopefully it's going to fit quite nicely under my sink. And in a bit, I'll take you into the brew facility room and show you where I'm going to install it, and then talk you through how you do that, but just so you know what it is that you're getting. You will get, this is the unit, so you've got a filter in here, I think it's a sediment filter in here, a carbon filter in here, the reverse osmosis filter goes in here, and then this one is a DI resin filter as a final stage before it passes through. I'm going to plumb this in the sink, so I've just got an on-off, and the waste automatically goes into the drain, so I'm not faffing around with buckets. Up until recently, when I have used the other filter, I've either had to do it outside, or I'd plug it into my outside tap, the filter inside, and have the filter inside in my utility room, but I'd always have to have a window open to be able to run the pipe through, but it's like -5 outside at the moment, so A, it would freeze solid, and B, it's just not really ideal to have windows open in the winter. So, as well as the filter and all its component parts, there's the reverse osmosis filter, there's the DI resin. It comes with some spanners. Spanners are here to be able to tighten up and take off the various parts. A length of 1/4 inch pipe, and it's all push fit fittings, so it's relatively easy to put together. For the waste, it comes with this clamp that goes around your pipe under your sink, and you just push the... I don't know that one. You just push that 1/4 inch pipe into there, and it'll drain into your sink waste. Screws to mount it to the wall, and it does come with, where have I put that bit? It does come with this as well. This is a screw-on clamp that you can screw onto a live water pipe, and it will puncture the pipe and draw your water out from the hole at the top there. Now, I'm not sure whether this is going to be long-term in the position that it's going to be in, so I don't really want to put a hole in my water pipe. So I've gone online onto Amazon and bought some other things that are going to help me out with this, which are, one is this, which is a 3/4 inch BSP Y splitter with 2 valves on there. So I'm actually going to attach this next to where my washing machine is. So I'm going to unscrew the washing machine, screw this onto the water pipe, and then the washing machine is going to go on here. And I also picked up this big bag of 1/4 inch fittings off Amazon for RO filters. So I'm then going to attach the big filter fitting there onto that, and then I'm going to have my washing machine on one and the RO filter on the other. I'll take you through into the Brewtility room now, or in a minute actually, to show you where I'm going to fit it and how I'm going to fit it. But actually I'll just put some of these bits together before we go in there. So these unscrew at the bottom, and you've got your filters inside. So you just need to unwrap the plastic off these and get them put together. So this is the carbon filter, second one, or second stage. And it is as simple as you take the packaging off, you offer the filter up, put the housing back over it, and screw it in. Pretty simple. That's one. This is the sediment filter. Just got to take the plastic off. Offer it up on there. Screw the base on. Now, as I said, these are all push fit, and they come with a little clasp to keep it locked in. To remove the push fit, you just push it in, grab the bottom and pull it out. Ugh. On a bit tight, but not tight enough to need the spanner. I will just nip them up a little bit afterwards. So RO filter goes in, always with the 2 black rings at the bottom end. I have already put some Vaseline on that just to get it lubed up. That goes on there. Pipe goes back in. And then make sure you put your locking ring back in as well, so you don't have any issues. So I've just removed this. This is the where the DI resin goes, so you need to take both ends off of this and make sure that all of the packaging is removed from the sponges, which I think it is on this one. Yes, it is. That goes inside there. Almost lost an O-ring. Don't lose the O-rings, you'll leak water everywhere. Okay, so on this one, you install the bottom end sponge first, and then the bottom end lid. And then what you're going to do next is open this bag of DI resin and you're going to pour it into there. Now I'm going to go and see if I've got a funnel available to me to do this. If not, I'm going to put a small hole in the bag and do it that way. Funnily enough, my wife calls this the brewing funnel. It's actually just a funnel. Although, because she never uses a funnel for anything, it always ends up put away with my brewing stuff. So, yeah, not quite sure why. So let's open this. And then we'll pour this in. I'll just shake that down, I think. Right, I don't think I'm going to get any more in there without making a big mess, so I'll now put that top sponge back on in place. Oh, almost lost that O-ring again, sneaky bastard. And then screw this other lid back on. There we go. That clips back on the top of there. And then the inlet will push back in, the same as the other push fit, straight in there. And the locking ring goes back in place. So now that's all put together, I'm going to go into the other room and show you where I'm going to install it and how I'm going to do it. And I'll probably do some footage of me doing it as well. Pay attention to your instructions on how you use this. So mine's got a flush filter, so I'm able to connect my water, and you need to run it through just these two filters until the water runs clear. That's just to take all the loose carbon out of the carbon filter, really. So with mine, I can leave that in this position, run the water in, and it will only run through here. And then when I flick that switch, you then have to run water through it for 30 minutes just to fully get everything up to snuff. Basically, I don't know the technical terms for what it's doing, but that's what the instructions say. Your instructions on your filter may differ. So let's go through and see where I'm going to put it. Okay, so here we are underneath my Brewtility room sink. So I'll move you over here a bit first, actually. So as you can see there, I've got my washing machine inlet comes out there. That's where I'm going to put the Y splitter. I'm going to have the washing machine going one way and the RO filter water going the other way. And this big gap over here is where I'm going to mount the filter on the wall. You can actually just see my gas regulators there for my big chiller. So I'm going to mount that on the wall there, and I'm going to feed the waste into that black pipe there. I'm not worried about having to send it around the U-bend because there's not going to be anything in it. It's just going to be wastewater. So I'm going to drill some holes in the wall, get this mounted, and then I will connect all of the other fittings. Okay, so now you can see that I've got the Y splitter mounted and the washing machine's connected. Water's turned onto that, and so far there's no leaks, so that's good. And there you can see on the right hand side, big chunky unit there. I've mounted the filter to the wall, and now I've just got to get the next lot of bits connected up. So now you can see I've connected the 3/4 inch BSP to 1/4 inch push fit fitting to the outlet, and I've run the white 1/4 inch pipe to the inlet on the pump, which is on the right hand side. Next up, I'm going to connect just at the top. You can see a little blue tab that I'm pointing to there. That's the product out, so I need to attach hose to that and connect the waste. As you can see now, I've attached the pipe clamp fitting to the waste pipe, drilled a hole in there, and it comes with a rubber gasket that you attach. And then I've put the push fit fitting with the pipe, connecting the waste on the filter to the pipe. The only thing now that I need to do is get some of the 1/4 inch pipe and attach it to the product outline at the top of the filter there, and then I'm good to go to follow the instructions on setting it up. And there we go, that's it, all done. RO filter is now installed under the sink. It's just going through the flush cycle, got to leave it running for 30 minutes. And then I'm good to go. RO water whenever I want, just turn that little handle and it will be coming out like a dream. Apparently it makes good coffee as well. Haven't really tried that, but I'll give it a whirl, see if it tastes any different. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. I'll put a link for the one that I've got in the description down below. I'll put a link for some other ones, probably even further down below. Probably, I think start to finish, if I hadn't been filming this video, I probably would have got that job done in about half an hour. And now I can get RO water whenever I want it. I think one of the only downsides about RO is the waste. I think you probably get like 4 or 5 to 1 waste to product. So you can save your wastewater. I think Penny uses this to water his flower beds, or you can do whatever you like with it, really. Boil things, I don't know, who knows. But yeah, there you go. Stay tuned, catch you on the next one. Oysters out.